My name is Autumn Mori. I'm going to be doing a presentation for Liberty University in my education class um, about school safety, specifically addressing mass shootings. I will not be including a visual of myself just because I don't want it to block any of the slides that I have to show you. So it'll just be my voice today. So before we get started, let's just look at an overview of what we're going to be talking about. If you'd like to look at it in greater detail, you can pause and just look at where we're going with this. So to introduce this topic, it's important to note the fact that this is a critical and controversial issue, just because it is something that we see relatively often and holds a lot of emotional meaning and should be handled with care and thoughtfulness. So I just want to note that as we proceed. So the lack of consensus on how to approach it reflects the complexity of the problem. This presentation aims to inform and raise awareness about the various options and measures currently being implemented to address school shootings. The intended audience includes citizens with children in schools and those working in educational institutions. So first, we're going to talk about the current measures and options available to schools that we often see. The first is the traditional lockdown procedures. Lockdown procedures involve securing classrooms and minimizing visibility to protect students and staff during an active shooter event. This method has been the standard response, but is often criticized for its limitations. According to one source, traditional lockdowns provide a basic level of security, but their effectiveness can be compromised if the attacker gains access to the secured area. So some strengths to this is that it's simple to implement and provides immediate safety measures. As we often see in schools, there are drills for these kinds of things and strict procedures that teachers and students are supposed to follow. And so in times of crisis, that can be an immediate way to remedy the situation. Well, not remedy, but try to combat the situation. And people have procedures to go off of. Some weaknesses is that it can leave students and staff vulnerable if the shooter breaches the secured area. Because of that, many times schools will implement the second option in tandem with the first, which is multi-option response strategies. These strategies provide multiple responses, such as evacuating, barricading, or countering, depending on the situation. This approach aims to increase the chances of survival by adapting to the specific circumstances of the attack. As the previous article states, multi-option responses allow for a more flexible and potentially more effective reaction to an active shooter event. So when the shooter enters the building and lockdown procedures have been done, some teachers are told to barricade the door or even attack the assailant if they make it into the room. Although a lot of times this isn't stated in a formal manner, that's what a lot of educators or classrooms often do or briefly touch on. And the strengths of this is that it offers flexibility and can reduce casualties as they're actively doing things to work against the assailant. But because it's so open-ended, it requires extensive training and can be confusing under stress because teachers are not trained to fight shooters and in active situations like that. And so there's a lack of training in that area and can be difficult to implement under stress, the stress of a break-in. The third option is school counselors' roles, or just looking into school counselors' roles. School counselors play a vital role in the aftermath of a shooting by providing emotional support and helping the school community recover. They also contribute to preventative measures by identifying at-risk students and promoting a safe school environment. One article highlights that school counselors are essential in providing the emotional and psychological support needed to help students and staff recover from traumatic events. Some strengths: it addresses mental health and emotional well-being essential for recovery, and it tackles things in a preventative way and in a remed- in a remedial way for after an active situation. Some weaknesses: counselors may be overwhelmed by the emotional toll and high demand for services. As we see in our school systems, school counselors are already overwhelmed with their workload. So adding this to their workload is a big challenge in implementing it. The last one is comprehensive safety programs. So comprehensive safety programs involve a holistic approach, combining physical security measures, threat assessment protocols, and mental health support to create a safer school environment. According to an article by Cornell and Sherris, effective school safety programs integrate physical security, threat assessment, and mental health resources to address the multifaceted nature of school violence. So really, this is kind of just an amalgamation of all three of the ones that we've talked about previously. And the strengths of this is it provides a well-rounded approach to school safety, addressing multiple aspects of the issue. And weaknesses are it requires significant resources and coordination to implement effectively. Sometimes we see schools only do lockdown procedures and don't implement multi-option response strategies or school counselors' roles into their school. This would be looking at all of those things and can require a lot of resources and training and staff to make sure that it's implemented correctly. So just to reiterate what the strengths are of the current measures that we have for immediate responses, we have lockdown procedures, which provide an immediate response to potential threats, ensuring a level of safety while further measures are considered. There's adaptability in the multi-option response. Strategies offer flexibility, allowing schools to adapt their responses based on the situation, potentially saving more lives. Emotional support, in which school counselors' involvement ensures that the emotional and mental health needs of students and staff are addressed, which is crucial for recovery and prevention. And number 4, holistic approach. Comprehensive safety programs address the issue from multiple angles, increasing overall effectiveness. And the weaknesses are immediate or implementation challenges, which is effective implementation of multi-option strategies requires significant training and resources, which may not be available in all schools. Vulnerability. Traditional lockdowns can leave students and staff vulnerable if the shooter gains access to the secured area. Resource limitations. The effectiveness of school counselors can be limited by resource constraints and the emotional toll on the counselors themselves. Coordination. Comprehensive safety programs require substantial coordination and resources, making them challenging to implement universally. So the effectiveness of current measures. While no single measure can entirely prevent school shootings, a combination of traditional lockdown procedures, multi-option response strategies, robust counseling services, and comprehensive safety programs can enhance overall safety. The effectiveness of these measures depends on proper implementation, training, and continuous evaluation. It is essential to adapt and improve these strategies based on feedback and evolving circumstances. So, application in schools would be training and drills, which we see. Schools should conduct regular training and drills for both traditional lockdown and multi-option response strategies to ensure that staff and students are prepared for different scenarios. Incorporating realistic scenarios and involving local law enforcement can improve the effectiveness of these drills. So making them a little bit more realistic so that when the drill occurs, students know what to expect but are also immersed in the situation so that if a real situation were ever to occur, they would be more prepared for what that was like by having realistic drill scenarios. Counseling services, increasing the availability of school counselors and providing them with adequate resources can enhance their ability to support students and staff. This includes both preventative measures and post incident recovery. Keeping that all in mind with the challenges that um, face counseling services in the schools, and perhaps trying to ease the load in some way or look at improving school counselor positions. Community involvement, engaging parents and the broader community in discussions about school safety can foster a collaborative approach to addressing the issue. This can include educational sessions on recognizing warning signs and supporting preventative measures. Comprehensive safety programs. Implementing comprehensive safety programs that includes physical security measures, threat assessment protocols, and mental health support can provide a well-rounded approach to school safety. In conclusion, addressing school shootings requires a multifaceted approach that includes immediate response procedures, adaptable strategies, and comprehensive emotional support. By combining traditional lockdown procedures, multi-option responses, robust counseling services, and comprehensive safety programs, schools can enhance safety and preparedness. Continuous evaluation and adaptation of these measures, along with community involvement, are crucial for creating a safer educational environment. It is important that we continue to look at data and continue to adapt, while trying to listen to all of the voices on this issue and listen to parents as well as teachers and administration and try to gain a comprehensive approach of how to handle this issue and move forward. So that completes the report on school shootings for this presentation. I'll now move into how this presentation hits or appropriately accommodates a conceptual framework and the script dispositions. So first on conceptual framework are the no's. So general knowledge. The presentation demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of school safety measures, particularly in the context of mass shootings. By reviewing current research and best practices, it highlights various strategies and their effectiveness, showcasing a thorough grasp of the topic. Content knowledge and curriculum goals. The presentation aligns with educational goals by addressing the safety and well-being of students, which is fundamental to creating a conducive learning environment. It integrates safety protocols and counseling strategies as part of the broader educational curriculum. Professional knowledge, development, and diversity of learners. Recognizing the diverse needs of learners, the presentation includes strategies that cater to different student populations, including those with special needs or trauma histories, especially in the context of school counselors and preventative measures, or in the remediation of or helping students after a school shooting, specifically helping students with those needs and working alongside them. Next are the implementation. Communication skills. The presentation utilizes clear and concise language to communicate complex safety procedures and strategies effectively. It employs visual aids and structured slides to enhance understanding. Technology skills, incorporating multimedia elements such as videos and interactive content. The presentation leverages technology to engage the audience and facilitate learning. Instruction leadership skills. The presentation is structured to guide educators and administrators in implementing safety measures. It provides actionable steps and recommendations demonstrating leadership and promoting school safety. And lastly, for the conceptual framework is believes. Commitment and concern. The presentation reflects a deep commitment to the safety and well-being of students and staff. It emphasizes the importance of proactive measures and continuous improvements in safety protocols. Collaboration and reflection. The presentation encourages collaboration among educators, administrators, and the community. It also includes reflective practices by evaluating the effectiveness of current measures and suggesting areas for improvement. Moving on to the script dispositions. Social responsibility. Number 1, beliefs that all students can learn. The presentation underscores the importance of providing a safe learning environment for all students, ensuring that every child has the opportunity to learn without fear. Differentiated instruction. The presentation includes strategies that address the unique needs of diverse learners, such as those requiring additional support during emergencies. Opportunities and motivation. Ensuring a safe environment motivates students to engage in learning, knowing they are protected and supported. Empathy and sensitivity. By highlighting the role of school counselors, the presentation shows empathy and sensitivity to the emotional and psychological needs of students and staff. And then lastly, fairness, justice, and equity. It advocates for equitable safety measures that protect all students, regardless of their background or circumstances. Next, we have commitment, discipline, and work ethic. The thorough research and detailed planning evident in the presentation demonstrate a disciplined approach to addressing school safety. And then preserving commitment, persevering commitment. I apologize. The presentation shows a steadfast commitment to ensuring that every student can succeed academically by creating a safe and supportive learning environment. Next, reflective practice, thoughtful consideration. The presentation reflects on current safety measures, evaluating their effectiveness, and considering alternative approaches. Informed decision-making, it uses data and research findings to make informed recommendations, ensuring that the proposed strategies are evidence-based. And learning from discussions with colleagues. The presentation encourages ongoing dialogue and collaboration among educators to share best practices and improve safety measures. Next is integrity. Ethical and moral behavior. The presentation advocates for ethical responses to school shootings, emphasizes the moral responsibility of protecting students. Honesty inside and outside the classroom. It provides a transparent and honest assessment of the challenges and solutions related to school safety. Lastly, professionalism. Lifelong learning. The presentation demonstrates a commitment to lifelong learning by incorporating the latest research and continuously updating safety practices. Effective use of English language. It maintains high standards of language use, ensuring clarity and professionalism in both written and spoken communication. Enthusiasm and passion for teaching. The dedication to improving school safety reflects a deep passion for the teaching profession and a commitment to fostering a positive educational environment. Thank you so much for listening. Here are my references. I hope that you learned something from this and that you were able to understand the procedures for school shootings and how schools can improve and what the strengths are to these. So thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have an amazing day.